Welcome back. Well, Nigeria's energy giant, the NNPCL, has made headlines with its full year 2024 results. The company declared a profit after tax of 5.4 trillion naira, up from 2.2 trillion naira in 2023, while revenues that soared to about 45.1 trillion naira. So latest earnings there. Well, let's unpack what this means for the industry. Joining us now is Dosu Dekunle, he's MD Marketing Synergy. Great to have you in the show.
Ladi, morning. Nice to be here.
Fantastic. Great to have you. And, you know, we're going to be talking a lot now about what's played out in Nigeria's oil and gas industry and definitely this latest earnings. But before we get into that, interestingly today, the former group managing director of the NNPC, that's Dr. Jackson Gaius Obaseki, he turns 80. You know, he serves as the group managing director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, I think 1999 to 2003. Known for spearheading robust reforms in the nation's oil and gas sector during his tenure, you know, including structural, operational, and legal reforms, and you know, expanding the external marketing strategy. So, you know, in your view, seeing where he left off the NNPCL and Nigeria's oil and gas industry, how do you see what's played out so far?
In my view, well, I'll say they're on the right track. NNPC has had its bumps, you know, along the way, as with any organization that is developing and growing. But he set the right pace and right foundation. I can tell you that during his tenure, it was an era where Nigerian companies flourished in crude trading and products trading. And he gave them an opportunity to grow. A lot of those companies are still doing well. Some of them are conglomerates now, they've evolved. And NNPC continues to be a catalyst in the Nigerian space and, you know, West Africa, and even the global market as it stands today. And on that foundation, quite a few GMDs have actually taken what he built upon. They worked on it, improved on it, and that's why NNPC can declare the bumper harvest it has today in terms of achievements done in the past.
Right, and talking about a bumper harvest there with these remarkable numbers, profit after tax 5.4 trillion and revenue of 45.1 trillion. What would you say are the key drivers, you know, behind this these earnings?
Well, they improved their operations. They definitely targeted the security issues quite tastefully, and that is shown in the results in terms of how production improved, operational issues were worked on, they tightened losses, and the numbers show for themselves. I mean, data never lies. When NNPC boldly decided to start announcing their accounts, their audited accounts, it seemed like it would be, you know, a tough thing for them, but they are evolving. Remember that this is just 3 years in where they've started, you know, the level of transparency has increased, starting from the predecessor, and even now under the current GMD. They continue to improve production. You can even tell from, you know, taking from Mr. President's instruction in terms of, you know, increase in oil. NUPRC have run with it, NNPC are running with it. And then you now have increased production, the number of rigs and there is production going up. So that actually started off in 2024, and I'm sure that by the end of this year, when they're declaring for 2025, will probably even be better numbers.
Right, now we see the company, you know, attributes part of the success to, you know, the Naira's float, you know, downstream reforms and cost discipline.
Ladi, I can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay, so I said the company attributes part of the success to, you know, the Naira's float, downstream reforms, and cost discipline. But how sustainable are these factors, you know, going forward, you know, in your opinion?
So I don't think it's a whitewash. They targeted key issues, so which is insecurity, working on operational issues, fixing pipelines. So these are infrastructural issues that were dealt with and which will sort of, you know, increase the flow. They've helped with bringing, I think, an increased participation in the market. So all of that is geared towards, bringing better profits for future. Right? It's not just, if flash in the pan for now. I believe that they're trying to go long term to ensure that come future, when they decide to, have a lot of Nigerians participate in terms of being shareholders, there will be investor confidence and things like that. So I think it's a long game.
From an industry standpoint, looking at this performance, does this signal a turning point for the general industry there, Nigeria's general oil and gas industry from upstream and downstream sector?
And we would like to remain positive. Only if I had a magic crystal ball, then I'll know that one. Then you can rest assured I'll use it on Nigerian Stock Exchange. Nobody really knows. But our desire is that, objectively, that is the case. The reason is because NNPC is part and parcel of the whole Nigerian system, like how you have blood vessels as part of a human body. You may not always see it forefront, but it is responsible for the bloodline and the flow of energy in this country. They have infrastructure, they have history, they have legacy issues, they have knowledge, they have the human resource capital. So it is inherently a microcosm of Nigeria. You want to see it succeed. So, yes, I would like to remain on the positive end and believe that there are better days to come.
All right, and I'll share your optimism there. But what implications do these results have for, investors, both domestic and international? Is Nigeria becoming a more attractive destination for, oil and gas investment?
Yes, yes, it is. I mean, the government's policies on the macro policies being done on the financial side to stabilize the Naira and the FX is one of the contributors. It's not on its own isolated. It's not just NNPC. There are other things attached to it. So, like I said, the monetary policies, and another key indicator, obviously, Dangote being a major player in oil and gas at the moment, is another contributor. So all those factors together will help prop up Nigeria itself with, the environment. I mean, we're becoming a net exporter of oil, a key kickoff destination for, shipping as a load point and not just a discharge point. So that also helps with NNPC in terms of when NNPC opens up for more investments, people can see what NNPC is doing, the level of transparency. It definitely will boost investor confidence to Nigeria as a whole, because they can see that, okay, we are growing and the key indicators are positive. So,
all right, so, still looking at those earnings there, profit after tax, 5.4 trillion naira. I'm sure the man on the streets will be wondering, revenue 45.1 trillion. How can this somehow, translate to maybe PMS price of around maybe 500 naira per liter or less? Is it possible? How much do we need to earn, or does this company need to earn to get us to that point?
I can tell you that their earnings, has nothing to do with making gasoline cheaper. That is a totally different thing. The health of the company has to do with the things they've put in place, the macro things they put in place and infrastructure to get them to a better place, build investor confidence. The question you are asking has to do more like with the cost of crude and the cost of refining that crude. That's what determines the cost of gasoline. A company's financial performance is just how they've managed themselves, to reduce debt and obviously increase profit. So obviously, that NNPC is owned 100% by the government. That money is government's money, except you're trying to, go back and introduce subsidy. But currently, what would happen is with the global drop in the cost of crude, it will invariably translate to cheaper gasoline products as it passes through a refinery. So just as any raw material, the cheaper it is, it will reflect, there will be a ripple effect in refining and transportation, and therefore cheaper product. So if I may just add, I don't know if you've seen the forecast, it's estimated that, crude will drop another $2-3 in the future. with the Russia and Ukraine peace deal in the offing. There's more talk about crude getting cheaper. So if that happens, yes, you will see cheaper gasoline, but not because of NNPC's bumper.
All right. Well, you know me, I'm just hoping for cheaper PMS.
You don't need it now. You're good.
All right. Thank you so much. It was great having this conversation with you, Dosu Odekunle, MD, Marquee and Synergy. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.